I was recently thinking to go back to school and do another master's and then a PhD degree. And I was thinking about the fact that do I actually have the necessary brain cells at this moment to go and do all of these things? Just because I'm older, I don't have the same brain that I had when I was 20. And then I figured it out that to succeed in academia, learning is just a small part of it. That's why in today's video, I wanted to speak with you a little bit about my hacks on how to become a very good student and succeed in academic environments as one. Let's get straight into it. Hi, my name is Cornelia. I usually post videos about corporate environment and how to behave in a job interviews and recruitment process because I work with talent acquisition and I have a lot of experience on it. And in today's video, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about my top hacks to become a good student, which are not necessarily related to learning. It was the first in class of my master's and bachelor's program. I was studying psychology in both of them. You will have these tips from a person that actually had the best grades out of their class. And we will go straight into the first one, which is going to courses. And this is not because you'll go there and take the notes. This is the obvious reason. But the reason why I wanted to speak about this is because listening to your teacher will actually help you understand what will be the subjects that your teacher is passionate about that most likely will be in your exam. This is something that I've noticed when the professors at courses are very excited about a subject. I don't know, maybe they are smiling a lot, maybe they bring more interesting subjects, maybe they want to have a debate on that specific subject. You will notice what are the subjects that the professors are really passionate about. Most likely, those subjects will be in your exam. You can go to courses, see what are these kind of subjects and prepare better for them than from other subjects that will be in that specific course. Next one is to prepare for the type of the exam that you'll have to take. This is a meta skill, let's say, and this is on top of your learning skills. You need to prepare to retract the information from your memory based on the type of the exam that you will have. If you have, let's say, multiple choices kind of exam when you have a question and you need to choose the correct answer from 3 possible choices, you will need to learn how to identify a specific information from the others that are incorrect. Then, if you have an essay kind of exam, you need to understand how to write an essay first and then arrange your information in your head when you are learning them so they can fit a format of an essay. If you have an oral exam where you actually have to speak in front of the professor, you need to learn everything loudly. You need to speak while you learn, because this is something that I've personally observed at myself. When I think, everything is fluent. When I'm trying to speak what I'm thinking, it's not fluent anymore, because I don't have the exercise to actually pronounce everything and arrange all of the words and all of the sentences that I want to say in a logical manner. Preparing for the type of the exam is very important, and this will help you a lot in having better grades at your exam. The third one is to do your projects well. You need to put all of your effort in the projects and in the assignments that you have during the semester. Just because your final grade will be either a sum or an average from the grade that you get at your assignments and the grade that you get at your exam. It's easier to get a better grade at your assignments than at your exam because it's easier to do your assignment. You have to do it at home. You can research. You have all of the resources in the world to make it better and get a better grade. And of course, after that, if you get the maximum grade at an assignment, you can ease the intensity of learning for that specific exam because you already have a high start in your overall grade with the assignment that you had. As I mentioned, it's easier if you put the effort in the assignment and the project that you need to deliver during the semester and get a better grade at the end of it than to put all of this effort in the exam. Having exams is really hard. You are very stressed, and usually the performance that you have in your exam is not actually what you can do just because you have all of this emotional distress during an exam. Next point is to plan your learning. My advice here will be to plan your learning along the semester so you can actually have the time to learn everything and not be stressed about it. If you have the time and you want to do it, it will be easier for you because you will expose yourself to the theme, to the subjects and so on earlier in the semester. And when you actually have to study hard and put a great effort before the exam, you will already be exposed to that information. But if you don't want to study during the semester and you just want to study before the exam, you actually need to plan your studying sessions to cover at least 90% of all of the subjects that are in your course. It's better just reading all of them than learning 2 or 3 subjects of your course in the same period of time, because you'll have greater chances to actually write something in your paper when you just read the subject than when you never encountered those informations before. It's better to plan your sessions and to at least read, not actually learning in depth about every subject in your course, because just reading can actually help you retain the necessary informations or the main idea, and you can use this information in your exam in case that subject will appear in your exam paper. Next tip, don't be passive in classes. You need to expose yourself, be active in classes, especially if your teacher allows this kind of behavior. So they maybe ask you questions, they want to debate, they want for you to think about certain problems and then raise your hand and tell your opinion about it. So this is something very important. You need to be active in classes. And of course, the main reason for this is because if you are active in classes, you will actually understand the subject better and you will retain all of the informations better. The second reason, and this is why I wanted to speak about this, is because you will expose yourself in the front of the professor. This means that the professor will recognize you, and when they are correcting the paper, they will recognize that you were the person that was always active in class, always interested in the subject, they were always curious and wanted to speak out more, and so on. And they will be biased in correcting your paper favorably. This is a very old theory, it's called the theory of exposure. There was this experiment where people were giving a better grade to an item that they were exposed before than to an item that they never saw. So this is a bias of the teacher, of course, but you can take advantage of it. The last tip is to make friends. Having friends at university, friends that are your colleagues, is so important, and I can give you 5 reasons why. First of all, knowledge sharing. Most likely you can be there every time. Most likely you can go to all of the courses, but your colleagues will do. And if your colleagues are your friends, they will share the knowledge that you missed. And this is actually very important because most of the times if you don't have some specific knowledge about a course or about an exam or about an assignment, you can actually do that assignment to get the best grade. So this is very important, knowledge sharing. Second, you would most likely want to go to courses if your friends are there. Yeah, I mean, if you have a good time with your colleagues, if between the breaks you speak about interesting subjects, you drink coffee together, you go to lunch together, this will help you go to courses because that is the only way to see your friends, and you will be there enjoying your friends' companies while doing some learning and be present at your courses. Third reason is that you can learn together. Learning together, it's much more fun. In my opinion, it helps you retain the information better just because you can gamify everything, you can ask yourself questions, you can share informations about some subjects, you can actually help each other understand some subjects. The fourth reason why you need to have friends in university, I mean friends that are your colleagues, is the fact that you can do projects together. This is such an important thing in university. Every professor wants to do projects together. And if you don't have friends or if you don't know anyone, you will just be paired randomly with some people. And if you are actually interested in doing everything, and if you have 1 or 2 persons in your group that don't want to do anything, you will have to actually do their job. Or if you don't want to do it, you will have a smaller grade just because your project wasn't complete. When you have to do a group assignment, and in that group you actually have your friends there, most likely you will collaborate more, you will speak more, you will actually hold one another accountable on what you have to do, and you don't want to disappoint your friends. So most likely all of the other persons will do their tasks. They don't want to have a bad grade or to put their friends in the position of having a bad grade just because they don't want to do their assignment in that group project. And the last reason, the fifth one, is the fact that a lot of the subjects that you are going to talk about with your friends that are your colleagues are related to university. This means that you'll actually have someone that you can speak about the courses and the subjects that you learn. Maybe you can share ideas, maybe you can debate in your free time about things. This means that you will actually learn the subjects on your university. So you will have better grades in your exam because you already discussed all of these things with your friends, or you were exposed to these kinds of informations with your friends before your exam. And at the same time, you will be an emotional support for all of the stressful situations that you'll have in university. And of course, having an emotional support from other people will help you a lot to understand your emotions and to better manage them. And here I'm referring to stress before universities, maybe to frustrations when you get a bad grade and you think that you deserve more. So yeah, having friends at university is really, really a big tip, and it's something that helped me a lot and will help you a lot as well if you want to actually have good grades in university and become better in this academic kind of environment. So hey guys, this is all from my side. Don't forget to check one of my other videos, and don't forget to write in the comments down below if you have any other tips to becoming better in university. Of course, besides of actually learning, because this is the obvious one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!